This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, May the 14th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Quite an interesting day we have in store for central Alabama with temperatures much cooler than we normally see this time of year. The surface map features a reinforcing shot of cold air that's coming in that's going to be moving through central Alabama during the day today. If you're south of Birmingham, you'll probably get well into the 80s, but if you're north of Birmingham, since that cooler air is going to arrive around lunchtime or so, just a little after lunch, we'll probably see temperatures in the upper 70s. In the upper atmosphere, we have a bit of a nice upper trough over the eastern half of the country, that ushering in this northwesterly flow and helping to keep things a little bit cooler. And indeed, it is a bit cooler with some freezing values up there across parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota, as well as parts of the Dakotas. So a few returning freezing values. And of course, on the watch warning map, that means that there are a number of frost and freeze advisories, the blue, kind of the lighter blue and the darker blue areas across the north central part of the United States. Across central Alabama, basically it saw lows generally in the 40s across the Tennessee River Valley, and across central Alabama we're generally in the lower 50s, but teetering kind of around that 50-degree mark, and some spots may actually dip into the upper 40s. Our quantitative precipitation forecast is not showing a great deal of rain over Alabama. As a matter of fact, on the order of a tenth to a quarter of an inch, but it does look like much of that rain will come at midweek starting on Wednesday. But notice the big area of rain off to our west, and that is where we're going to see much of the development for much of the week ahead. The Storm Prediction Center is outlooking at several marginal risk areas, one along the mid-Atlantic states, one over Texas and parts of New Mexico, and another out in the northwestern United States for day one, and that's today into early Sunday. Day two, Sunday into early Monday, we see a marginal risk over Texas and parts of New Mexico, as well as the Oklahoma Panhandle. And then for day three, which is Monday into Tuesday, we have a slight risk over parts of the Texas Panhandle and along the western sections of the Red River Valley. All right, let's get to the modeling, and there's a look at our upper trough that is bringing in some nice reinforcing shot of cooler air. We may see some gusty winds this afternoon. At the surface, we have high pressure off to our west. That is bringing a nice northerly fetch all the way from parts of eastern Canada all the way down across the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys into the southeastern U.S., giving us temperatures that will be on the order on Sunday, especially about 10 degrees colder than we normally see. Sunday, we see that trough is definitely in place. Also, we need to be watching the troughiness that we see over the western part of the country. That's going to be taking a bit of the attention away from what's going on over the eastern part of the U.S. Monday, we see that trough beginning to inch on out across the New England states. And at the surface, we have the high pressure settling in over the southeastern U.S. and the southeast U.S. coast. So it looks like Monday our weather stays nice, but we begin to warm up as we do fairly quickly. On Tuesday, the upper air pattern is a bit nondescript, if you will. We have almost a zonal flow across the southern tier of the United States, but we do have that trough out over the western part of the U.S., and we'll be seeing that a big feature for the rest of the week. At the surface, we do have a bit of low pressure over Texas, and we see that southerly flow, so moisture is increasing. I think Tuesday we remain dry. Wednesday, we see the very strong trough coming in out of the western coast of Canada that will be diving down into the western U.S. In the meantime, the sort of ridging over the southern U.S. is helping to keep our flow pretty much zonal or slightly southwesterly, and we have these embedded little short waves that you see over the mid-south area. So those may help by Wednesday to increase our chances for some showers, as moisture has increased well enough, both at the surface and aloft over the southeastern U.S. Thursday, our rather nondescript pattern over the southeastern U.S. remains in place with kind of weak ridging, but once again, you see a little short wave over the Arklatex that is moving through the flow. That will help to enhance the chances for showers. and you can see that we stay pretty much moist over the southeastern U.S. all the way over into Texas. Friday, the pattern remains pretty much the same for us, but look at that huge closed low over the northwestern part of the United States with that deep trough over the west coast of the United States. In the meantime, we're dealing with these little short waves that are going to be very hard, especially this far in advance, to time out to see exactly when they'll give us the best shots for rain. But it looks like probably Wednesday through the weekend, we're going to just see a chance for showers. By Saturday, a week from today, we do have a little bit stronger short wave moving through the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys, so that looks like Saturday could be a little bit wetter, and indeed the GFS is suggesting that that might be happening. But in the meantime, we have that big closed low out over the western U.S. Getting out into voodoo country, and the GFS is continues to keep that bit of a trough over the western U.S., but notice what's over the southeastern U.S., over South Carolina and perhaps even Georgia. We have one of these meandering upper closed lows. You know what James says about it? Upper closed low, weatherman's woe. Indeed, that could spell some a bit of wet weather over parts of the southeastern U.S. Now, where this is positioned right here, Alabama would be on the dry side, so we should be in good shape. Now, by the time we get out to the very end of the period at 324 hours, or approaching the end of the period anyway, we see around the 27th of May, we see another trough developing over the eastern half of the country. So this could spell two things. It could spell a period of cooler weather for the end of May, as well as the possibility of some wet weather. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. Not sure there'll be a Weather Xtreme video tomorrow morning due to travel plans. In the meantime, you can stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.